you a young, talented, and skilled person? Are you hardworking? Or do you have an entrepreneur X factor? Then Erizon is the place for you. Erizon is a first-of-a-kind video broadcast that showcases talented and skilled young people with amazingly impressive entrepreneur X factors within. Whether through talent or brilliant ideas, at Erizon, we believe that you have the ability to inspire many people around the globe and effectively encourage them to use their God-given potential to transform themselves, their communities, and thousands of lives. This amazing show rotates around opening young minds to new ideas, chances, possible hobbies, and passions other than the everyday obvious life paths. To all that wish to be inspired, do not miss to catch this show, which airs every last Friday of the month on our YouTube platform, Erizon. Erizon is presented by eMoments.
Every sound has a hidden beat that taps into the tree of life.
Hello everyone, welcome to 2024 Erizon, and this is our first episode for the year, so I'm excited for you guys to see what we have in store for you in 2024. But for today, in our first ever episode, we have someone special, someone new, someone you haven't seen, or an occupation you haven't seen here before, and that's of course DJ Xtreme from EJazz Radio. Hello Mark, you're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Mark. Other people know me as Mark Xtreme, other people know me as Mpirirwe Mark. Either way it works. Happy to be here. I work with EJazz Radio, which is part of EJazz Media, and we have an online radio platform. We have a website where you can get information, whether it's news, politics, entertainment, all that. It's available there. And I also work with high people. Yeah. Okay,
so I'm going to just start off exactly with a popular opinion. Are you an online DJ?
Popular opinion is interesting. It's we've had that. You hear that all the time, and someone thinks that I don't know if you can play like at a wedding. Not that I want to, but they're like, you want to?
You don't want to play at a wedding?
They think no, I don't want to. Weddings are the most stressful parts. So someone will say, I don't know if you can play at a party. And you're like, I started DJing, playing for people, right? So it's not that, because I play on the radio, it's different from DJing at a party. It's the same. It's all curation. It's all an opportunity for you to play and how you curate music for the people. That's how it works. It's all DJing. It's the difference is that you do it on the radio, someone else does it in a club, someone else plays at a wedding, someone else plays at a funeral. So it works like that.
People play at funerals.
Yeah, they play music at a funeral.
I just want to ask, why not weddings? You just said it's stressful, but is it because they just come? This song, play that song.
Exactly.
I was just about to invite you to my wedding a few years, from now.
We might have a discussion. But yeah, the weddings, that's the most stressful part about the weddings is that's why you see specifically there are people that are good at playing that because they know. Because at the weddings, everyone wants to ask for something. You don't have a chance to curate what you want to give. You always are bombarded with, my auntie likes this song. My mother likes this song. So when you play, then they're like, so now you have to play it again. My mother has said you should play it again. Now it's a wedding, you have no choice, you just play it again. So that's why I don't like the weddings.
Okay, so tell us more about EJazz and what led you to EJazz and what led you specifically to DJ?
DJing, I think it started a while ago, while we were younger, because I remember, this is the funny part, my mom isn't into entertainment, my dad is not into entertainment, none of my siblings is in entertainment at all. And I think it started, but I think at home my parents didn't know what they were doing, but I think that's how it came about. So you always have things molded earlier on when you're younger. So my dad used to bring a lot of albums at home, so we'd buy tapes. Yeah, sorry young kids. Tapes back then, right? So he would bring tapes and so I would always listen to an album from start to end. So I always knew this album has these songs. So he would bring a variety. So when you look at the music that I was listening to way earlier on, you would bring a country album, you would bring a hip hop album, you would bring an R&B album, he would bring a Ugandan music album, he would bring a gospel album. So he would put them up there, and then I would listen. But I didn't know that that was taking me to be into DJing or music curation at all, right? So that kept on like moving along, that kept on going for a while. And then when I was in school, people used to say I listened to the radio a lot at the time, right? So when they used to say I listened to the radio a lot, several times, a lot of the times, a lot of them actually, when you look at people I said with, if you ask them, they wouldn't be surprised I'm doing radio because I used to listen to radio a lot. But the music part is I knew the songs, but I never was into like, I'm going to DJ. But because of the songs and how I knew different genres of music, when it came to DJing, I would think around 2008, around there, I started like learning how to play songs together by using just 2 CD players and just a mixer with no computer. And because of knowing the songs, I always didn't need to have like, in DJing it's called the BPM and or knowing what tempo the song is at, because I knew the song, so I didn't need to have a computer to see that. So I would easily select songs based on the mood and based on the tempo, but by just listening to, but because I already knew the songs, so it always was an easy thing for me to do. And I think that's what led me into now I need to learn how to really DJ. And then 2009 I started like uploading stuff online. Then 2010 around there are even platforms that don't exist anymore, like Mixcrate, where I used to put like mixes and stuff around there. So it started then. I started seeing, because I didn't want to go, I started in the nightlife. I tried like a few times, played up a few nights. Then I was like, this is not for me. I don't feel like I want to be here, right? And I said, how is the other way I can make sure that I still do what I want to do, but at the same time, not have to, sacrifice myself going up in the nightlife and playing throughout the night, because I didn't like it. Then I said, oh well, there's another opportunity, which is when I put up a few mixes online and I saw people responding around 2010. I was like, there's another way I can do it, which means I can just sit and curate the music I would want to curate at a party and put it up, and people will go and listen to it, whether they will play it at their house parties, whether they play it when they are working out, or whether they are like having a walk or driving. Well, that serves the purpose for me. So I said, well, I'll keep doing that. So that leads into a few years later, because I got a little bit of good feedback from that and good connections from there. So I started learning the business of doing radio. Even my first radio opportunity was with a station in the US, then in 2013, 2012, around there. It's called Afro-Carib Radio. And that was the first opportunity that I got. And I also did another radio station. I don't know if it still exists. It used to be called World Dance Party, but it was broadcasting out of South Africa and to the rest of the world. And I did a couple of spots there. Those were usually guest spots. And then Afro-Carib Radio, I think, is the one that gave me like a 2-hour show Fridays that I used to do that broadcast across the world. And it was run by a lady called Lady B. Bless. She gave me that opportunity because she listened to my mixes and she said, if you can't get clean songs, because I used to play explicit versions of songs. Said, if you can't get clean songs, I'll give you a radio show. Because I like what you do with the mixes, but I need you to make sure that they're clean songs. That's how it started. So transiting into EJazz started, I think, around 2017. And at the time, it was still creating content with the news on the website and YouTube content. And so EJazz Media, the whole entire company, would do content creation and would cover events and all that with Josh. His name is Josh Mobiru. So when there was an idea for doing the radio, I was like, why? I was like, you know what? Because at the time I was still looking at an opportunity where I can fully express myself, because I was working on radio here in the mornings at Record Radio earlier on, and also worked at Juice FM, which the frequency was later now taken over by Radio 4. At the time it was a Red Pepper radio station, and I used to do the evenings, the afternoons, 4 to 8, weekdays. And So I wanted to have an opportunity where I could fully express myself, but the radios weren't giving me that because they usually have a program, they want you to play certain songs. So I was like, I need something that can give me the freedom to do what I want. So George, at the time, I tell him, I was like, if you're serious about us doing the radio, if you're serious about it, we can do it. I started doing just a show, playing songs on there, only one show a day, 1 to 2 p.m. And it kept growing like that and turned into what it's now, which is way bigger than all of us or what we even anticipated. And it's now like a platform where you have musicians from across the world coming on, and that's whether we've had musicians from everywhere, including even Kazakhstan.
That's so cool.
They have come on the show, yeah.
I got shocked a bit through everything you've said. You talked about clean music.
Clean versions. So these are like radio versions which don't have cuss words.
Ooh,
because
okay.
their songs usually when they come out, especially hip hop and R&B and dancehall, they usually have explicit versions. They have two versions. So they have the explicit version which has all the cuss words, and then they have the clean versions which are played on the radio because of the broadcast standards.
So you're telling me that I sometimes listen to a song, but I don't actually know that this song from the original version that it is, it's something.
Yeah, sometimes you will get a clean version of a song and never get a chance to listen to the original version. I'm sorry, the other version, which is the explicit version. So especially if you listen to the radio, if the radio people do their job, you will never hear the explicit version.
So there are actually songs out there that musicians make songs that have this version and that version.
Oh yeah, they have to do, because sometimes the words are not very broadcast friendly. So you find that they are good for the nightlife, or when you're just playing out by yourself. But when you're on the radio, there are standards because you are
everyone,
regulated. Yeah. So there are kids listening and parents are listening with their kids. So some people don't want profanity on the station. So you find that if it is like the F word, it's not there in the song. So it's silent.
Yeah.
So that's the radio version, and then the explicit version has it.
Okay, so what exactly happens on EJazz? We know it's amazing work behind, but could you take us a bit through the back end, the step to step on how you managed to pull off the whole thing, day, night, another day, until another year?
Yeah, so it's EJazz Radio is it's a radio station that broadcasts 24/7, so it's 24 hours a day. It's playing music, and we have different programs on there. So the difference with it, unlike because if I take you back, like the purpose of a radio station was to introduce people to new music, to give people information about things that they have never heard about. So it was to introduce things to people. So unfortunately, as time went by with streaming, the mobile smartphone and all the other dynamics that happened, you find the radio stations and TV stations getting things secondary. So you find by the time someone says something on the radio, you already heard about it on social media.
Yeah. You
already saw it probably on Twitter, Facebook, or anything like that. And I was like, I like the reason why the radio was what it was, which was give people something they don't know. So that's why I said, how do we make an impact? Which is, we need to create a platform where we introduce people, new people, especially if it's in the music side, introduce people that are going to be probably bigger stars in the future, or are going to be even the next big thing. So that doesn't mean we don't play the bigger artists and stuff like that. We play that, we interview them and all that. But the purpose of it is creating a platform where young artists get to, by the way, indie artists. That's the better term. So indie artists, these are independent artists. They're not signed to a major label, and they don't have like a machine behind them marketing their music. So it's usually a DIY, do-it-yourself artist.
Do-it-yourself.
So you find he's producing, he or she is singing, producing, and also doing the marketing. Is the one emailing the station, hey, check out my new song. Is it able to play on your station and stuff?
You know, I actually just thought that these things happen like in movies.
Yeah.
Like, For any normal child, if they've watched a movie called Rugs or other musical movies, you'd see young artists sending to radio stations, and it actually happens in real life.
Yeah, it happens like that. And sometimes you find, now in some places you find someone has to bring, back then it used to be a CD, now it's more of a flash disc, but now it gets to more of, can I send you the song? Because now things have been made easier.
Yeah.
So I can send you an email, I just get your email, send you a song. Sometimes people have to, reach out on socials and tell you, hey, I would like to send you something, can you give me your email? Then I'll give you a little bit of myself and who I am, what I do, and what the song is about, and check it out. If that works for you, I'll be happy for you to maybe play it on the show. So that's how I got attracted into, I got attached into doing that on EJazz, because that's what we are known for mostly, which is we provide a platform for artists that are independent, but also the major artists also.
Yeah, you bring the vibe.
Yeah, so it's generally it's a platform where people, musicians and creatives meet and they connect, because we have people who have come on the platform and didn't know each other and they connected, and they're from different countries. Like someone is based in Singapore and they are working with someone in Germany. Someone in France is working with someone in England, not because they knew each other, but because they were connected on the show. So we get to work and they get to work together. And then the next thing you hear is, hey, I'm working with an artist X, Y, and Z who I got to know from your show, and we now have a project. So yeah, I know an artist who has been in the business for around 30 years, and she only did her biggest project because that person was. Yeah, she says it herself also.
It's so cool. Okay, now to the major question.
Yeah.
With all the experience you have in entertainment, media, business, all that experience, we know there's so many young people who want to do that, or who have access to the phones, the internet, and most of these people are like Form 4 vacis, Form 6 vacis, and they're looking for something to do. Or if you're just from university and you have so many papers, you're looking for jobs here and there, but you're failing, but then there's an easier way or something that can sustain you for a bit. What do you think of that situation? What advice and what way do you think they can be productive?
I think the time we live in, things have changed now, right? And now you have kids who are not yet even 5 years old making more money than the parents they have, and this is happening on social media. And I think, especially now for like during the holidays, when you find someone has a smartphone, right? Good phone that can do a good recording. I think the onus mostly is supposed to be also on the parent to guide them, right? Or if anyone else in their life can be able to help them. You see, there's a bad stereotype about social media, that when people on social media, getting your kids on social media, they will just look at the bad side of social media. But there's a bad side of everything, right? Even when you say we are going to newspapers, there are tabloids that kids can't see. And then there are the local dailies that are that are more a bit clean. And then the tabloids are full of something that you wouldn't want sometimes the kids to see. Now, this is the same thing with social media, because you can get anything you want on social media. If you are from the gospel side of things, you will get people that bring that create content from that sector. And they are making a living off that, and they are growing minus what else they are doing in life. And I've seen this with kids a lot. I know there is a family which had, the lady had 2 daughters. She was a single mother, and she's from, I think, Detroit. And she has 2 daughters. All they did was every day they would record a video when they're going to school, when she's dropping them to school. She would get a phone and they would record it. They would just read one Bible verse. Psalms 21, this, they say, And then they say that's your verse for the day. Maybe they get a message out of it, and that's your verse for the day. That is only less than a minute, just a minute. And that's it. The mother would help post those things up, respond to people who write in the comments, and guide that. They are grown now. The kids are helping the mother make a lot of money in her life than she ever did while doing a career that she had. But these kids now are grown. Now when I see them, it's even sometimes shocking to think that these are the young kids that used to say, scripture time. I don't know if someone has seen that. That's on social media. They used to say scripture time, and then they give you a verse. And that's it. I know a parent who has 5 kids. The youngest is the one that has made them popular and is going to make them money. She has 5. The youngest just loves doing playhouse. Like, she likes to play as a cook. The mother had a little bit of photography skills and videography skills. All she did was learn how to use her phone. All this is done by all these people I'm talking about are doing this on the phone. All she did was buy her a kitchen, like toy things for kids, set up, and then she always says, "What do you want, Mom?" And then she says what she wants, and then they play catch up, and they're having plastic stuff, and they're playing that content. People kept watching that, and the family now is popular off that. The youngest is the one that has made everything change. So now you find they have endorsements, they're making money off it. Just like another lady, I know people have seen that video where there's a kid saying, shh, shh, shh. No, I can't do negative today. That's also a young kid who the mother just records off the video. So I'm saying all this to say the opportunities in the digital world are many, because these kids are already on these platforms. I think what you have to do is figure out what the strength is and say, if the strength of the kid is math, well, let her do short videos on math. There's another video of a young lady who is more interested in aviation. They put up a screen and she explains to you how a plane works. Today she'll tell you about the wings and what is made up of the wings and what they do. And that video is less than a minute. Tomorrow she tells you about something else. So I think the opportunities in the digital space are much more, especially for the young kids and the people that are in holidays. As long as you have your smartphone, opportunities are right there. These days you don't even need to have the editing skills on video, because you can use CapCut and edit, InShot, edit.
I feel like that's not that easy for most people.
But it's more or less complicated than getting into the software that is on the computer, whether it's Adobe Premiere or DaVinci. So I think the phone is much easier because it's usually drag and drop, and that opportunity is available. So I don't think that we have yet fully utilized that opportunity. But I feel like if we do, now like you see how the kids, the Masaka kids, how they use social media to do the dance and all that, and see how much they have traveled, the ghetto kids and all that. So the opportunities for social media are endless. And the only thing is that there has to be a little bit of consistency. And yeah, that's what I think. But I think that any parent that has a kid that is interested in that, depending on what level they are at, whether they are S4, P1, even nursery, even the most younger ones, as long as you find something that they are good at, let them hone the skill on that, and there will be more and endless opportunities for them. That's what I think, and I feel like the opportunities are available. And in Uganda, the numbers are increasing for people that are getting into using the digital space, and they will keep growing.
Do you feel like you're a DJ? Yes. Do you feel like the world is being taken over by software, AI, and you are getting replaced?
As a DJ or as
As a DJ.
As a DJ, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah, they still haven't found something to replace us yet.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Because remember, what we do, what you can get, what is most scary about AI, and especially now for people, it's the DJs. Actually, the threat wasn't from the advancement in technology. It was more from people that want to jump into the career without any skill of whatever sort, and they get something recorded, and then they come and present it as a live thing that they are doing. That used to be the threat. But at the end of the day, you get exposed as time goes on. So it's, yeah, as far as AI goes, I don't think we should fight against things that come and make things easier. I just feel like we should embrace technology, and if I'm a DJ and there's a new way of making things easier for me, and it's what is coming up, it's a new innovation, all I need is to look into it and learn it and know how to use that still.
So that you can be able to control it.
Yeah, so you go on. But when you keep stuck in the ways of, no, I'm not using AI now. Nah, you learn what it does, see what it does, and then because you already have the skill to do what you're doing, maybe if it's making it easier, then guess what it will make for you? Much more easier, because you already have the skill to do it.
Okay, so what do you think needs to be changed in the industry more so that you walk in? And you've already given your view about technology.
Yeah.
I believe you mean to say that it's something that's workable and it's good. So what do you think needs to be changed in the industry?
I think what needs to be changed we couldn't even end that today. I don't think so. But what I feel like we could change is I feel like there are people that have been good in the business, that were working and doing quite well at the time. But because the competition kept some people are not good at keeping up with the competition, and they feel like any new advancement in anything is like a setback for them, right? And it's so bad to see sometimes when people that have built and put in time into the career, because they face some adversary and maybe they lose an opportunity that they had and they just give up. And you find like, I knew X, Y, and Z was very good at this, but why did they have to go away? Because they lost an opportunity. You can always build up another opportunity. So I know with entertainment, things move a little faster. People move on so quick. And they usually have a saying that out of sight, out of mind in entertainment. So people usually fight not to be out of sight.
Out of sight.
And some people are not good to work under pressure, right? So I feel like what can be changed is people that are also getting in. Maybe, I know it's easier now, but can you maybe put in some time, learn the craft? It would make everything much easier for you. Even if you just somehow, luckily, you get an opportunity. Good luck to you, right? But now, can you now do the work of understanding how things work? If you're lucky and you get an opportunity on radio because you got spotted off TikTok, well, now learn how the radio works. Learn how, what the ethics are of you doing your job. If you're on TikTok and maybe you get spotted because you're popular and stuff, and they say now you can be a DJ. So now, jump. Learn, you got an opportunity, yes, here are all the opportunities presented to you. Maybe invest time now in learning how the craft works. So I feel like those are the things that usually don't get mentioned. And I feel like if that happens, things can change. Because usually people will say, why does that opportunity have to be for the other one? Yet I have been working all these years. Maybe your time is not yet. But someone who got the opportunity, that's who I'm speaking to now. For something that I would like to see change. Because it's not good to have an opportunity and then you lose it after 1 year because you couldn't keep up. So I feel like if you get lucky because of social media is making that happen, people are getting popular overnight and then they get thrown into opportunities. I feel like if you get in there, learn the craft, and then you'll be able to stay there. So.
Okay, so as we wrap up today's episode, I don't know if you're familiar with this TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just simply facts. So you give 3 facts about yourself, and if you'd like, I'll join you in my own capability because I am not a DJ. So it's just, let's say I am an entrepreneur, and then I say, okay, I'm going to just give an example. I'm an entrepreneur, we're always thinking about money. And then you say you're a DJ, okay, because it's like I am a DJ, and then you say something that all DJs know that they experience or go through. Just 3 things, and I'll be the entrepreneur here. You're the DJ.
So I'm the DJ, the entrepreneur.
Of course.
All right.
Should I begin?
So I begin, you begin.
You begin.
I'm a DJ and people think we can't keep a relationship. We do.
I'm an entrepreneur. I said we're always thinking about money.
I'm a DJ and people think that because you can play 2 songs at the same time, it means you can play 2 people at the same time. That's not true.
I'm an entrepreneur. We normally are stuck thinking about ideas.
I'm a DJ and sometimes they think I'm only a DJ, but I'm also an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur and I can never be a DJ unless I ask him for classes.
Exactly. So you see, playing 2 things at the same time helps sometimes. Not everybody does that.
Okay, so as you've seen and you've heard from Mark Xtreme, being a DJ is not all, fancy and soft and easy. It's something delicate, something a bit complicated, something you can't just wake up and do. So I would just like to end today's episode, and it being the first one of 2024, I'd like to welcome you into the new year with us. Okay, so Mark, it was great having you here today for the first ever episode, not to happen again in 2024. Anything you'd like to say to the viewers?
Thank you for having me, and it's been a great time having to share with you what we get to do on a daily. And as it's at the start of the new year, so you say this will be the first episode of 2024. So if you're going to if you're seeing this, make sure 2024 is better than the year before. So don't live in the year before. Make sure that you have a brand new chapter to write this year. So you only have yourself to blame, except do not blame anything about the past years. It is you now. So this year is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, DJ Xtreme, for being here with me for the first episode of Erizon 2024. And just like he said, you can't phantom what you can do with your phone, technology, or even yourself, because you need yourself to be on the phone, the snapshot you're going to take. So be wise and use your phone well. 2024 is your year, and we'd love to see you here again at Erizon, where you meet the sky.
Do not miss to catch this show, which airs every last Friday of the month on our YouTube platform, Erizon. Erizon is presented by eMoments.